Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today is the launch day for the newest devotional journal from Shauna Noel and Dayspring. This is 100 Days of Less Hustle, More Jesus. This may look a little bit familiar because there have been two other 100 Days journals that we worked on last year. So I pulled these out just to kind of share with you how I worked through them to give you an idea of how I plan on working through this one, some things that I've done to it, that kind of thing. And then this is going to be like the travel edition review for this journal because I'm going to be traveling like all summer long. I'm going to be gone tons and tons and tons. This journal is going to kick off June 1st. So as a community, if you're wanting to join in with the rest of the Bible journaling community, we will be starting June 1st. So May 31st is actually my boys' last day of school, and we are going to hit the ground running. We go the very next week, leave to go camping, and we're just gone. So I'm going to be sharing how I'm going to be traveling with this, and then the supplies that I'm going to take with me. So I'll show that to you here in a minute. But one thing that you will notice right off the bat is the different binding on the books. So I wanted to show you before I did it to this one, the books actually come bound like this. You can still get the first two as well as this new one, and they all come just regular book binding. But I've gone ahead and taken mine to an office supply store like Office Depot, Office Max, Staples, something like that, and ask them to coil bind it. I don't give them any like specific directions. Mine doesn't really have a lot of choices. I can't pick the color, I can't really pick the size, and so you can see even though it was the same store, they use two different sizes of coils, and I would prefer the little bit larger size. So when I go to get this one done, I will take these in and request this particular coil. Let me see if I can measure what that is-ish. It's probably about a 1 inch. A 1 inch coil versus a 1/2 inch, I'm imagining. So the 1 inch probably is a little bit better. But anyways, the reason that I do that, the book is fine as is. If you are just gonna be like writing in here or using markers, non-dimensional items, then this is fine, it will work fine for you. But I really love adding stickers and die cuts and foam adhesive and just all kinds of like chunky goodness into mine. And so the coil binding allows the book to expand. So you can see this book was the same size as this one originally, and you can see how much it expands, and I didn't even finish this one or the second one. I'll talk about that in a minute, but you can see it allows it to expand, but it also allows it to lay flat when you're working on it. So I like that aspect of it as well, as you know, as far as the regular binding goes. I mean, you can smush it down and get it to lay flat, but I much prefer when it has the coil binding. So there's just kind of a tip for you guys. You don't have to do that. It costs around $5 to take it and have it coil bound, so that is an option that you guys can do. So this book is structured basically identically to the prior two books, and so it is 30 devotional days. If you flip through to the back here, not 30, I'm sorry, 100 devotional days. And so each day has a title, devotional content from Shauna, several verses, 3, 4, 5, somewhere around in there, pretty consistently 4, and that go along with the devotional content, and then a prayer down at the bottom. And then in here is a space left for you to do whatever you want, whether you want to prayer journal, take study notes, if you just want to take regular notes, maybe you just want to do art, maybe a big bold title, something that was kind of a pull-out item from that devotional content for you. Whatever it might be, you can do this up all pretty and crazy and colorful, or it could just be a pen. Jump in here and write things out as you study the verses. Maybe you want to really dig in and read like some commentary, define some Greek and Hebrew words, something like that. You could definitely do that. It does not have to just be, you know, pretty paint and colors and things like something like this. It doesn't have to be like that. It can definitely be functional. It just depends on how you want to tackle it. So I do get a lot of questions about traveling while Bible journaling, what products to take, how you do it, and I always struggle with that because when I take my Bible, and sometimes I'm working in a devotional kit, or something like that, but sometimes it's just like spur of the moment, I want to journal a particular verse. And so as I travel, it's kind of hard because I want to take like everything with me because I don't know what, you know, am I going to be journaling about Noah? Am I going to be journaling about creation? Am I going to be journaling about peace? Am I going to be, you know, whatever it might be, I might need, you know, specific stamps or printables or whatever it might be. And so this is going to be much easier to travel with because the theme throughout the entire book is the same. Less hustle, more Jesus. All about slowing down, taking time to rest and spend time with God. And on that note, this is perfect for me because I'm currently going through the Breathe devotional by Priscilla Schreier with a group of women at my church. We just started a couple weeks ago, and this is amazing. And so I will actually finish this study right before this book starts, and this is all about Sabbath, creating Sabbath margins, areas in your life where you kind of trim things down and give your life a little bit of space to breathe and to rest in God and to connect with God. So I am so excited to come on the tail end of the study and jump into this 100 days of Less Hustle, More Jesus. I will link this Bible study book down below if you're interested, as well as everything else I talk about will be linked down below for you guys. But so the whole theme is going to be pretty much the same. And so I wanted to keep my products pretty simple since I will be traveling. And so as we look at some of the past ones that I have done, I can kind of go crazy in these books. And this is especially great if you are interested or intrigued by Bible journaling, but are kind of nervous about coloring in the actual Bible. If for some reason you get hung up on that or that bothers you, or maybe you've had bad experiences with things bleeding through and ruining it and it just makes you feel bad, this would be a great project for you to jump in and experiment with because the paper is just regular paper. It is thicker than regular book paper, but it's not like watercolor paper. So you don't want to get it super, super wet, but you can use markers, you can use paints and things like that and really just explore and play and not have to worry so much about ruining your Bible. And so I can kind of go nuts. I've got like texture paste and dimensional items. I've used stamps and clear stickers, printables, doilies, die cuts, alpha stickers. I mean, I have just kind of gone nuts in these books, really exploring and playing with product. This is a great place to try out techniques. If you've seen a technique on one of my videos or somebody else's video that you want to try out, but are kind of nervous about putting it into your Bible first, this would be a great place to try, something like that out. These are just some stickers. I mean, all kinds of napkin technique would be fun to try out. You can see some things turn out okay, some things turn out really weird. Like this page is all kinds of weird colors that don't really match, and that is okay. I'm okay with like trying things out and testing things out in these books. If you want to try, drawing or hand lettering, things like that, stamping, all, you name it, you can try it out. But I wanted to go a little bit simpler route with this 100 Days book. And that's because, as you can see, this is the first one, this is the second one. I got to day 50, so a little bit more, 51. So I did 51 entries in the first one, and I only think I did 30 in this second one. Now, some of you are probably like, okay, well, Lindsey, why are you starting a third one? Well, one is just because I want to be doing this with all the rest of you that are doing it, but it's okay to come back to these at a later time. Maybe I'm just gonna have a day where I wanna sit down and create and just pull the book out and create one of the pages. So it's okay, it does not have to be finished in 100 days exactly. Stretch it out, come back to it, I'm okay with that. But because I was trying to create these really unique labor-intensive pages, I didn't finish going through the book. So I wanted to keep it a little bit more simple in this book. So let me share with you what I have packed to travel with as I work through this book. So this is one of the Bible tote bags from Dayspring. I do believe they still have this one in stock. If they don't have this one in particular, they do have a couple other options. I will link those down below. But this was created to carry your journaling Bible and your journaling Bible supplies in. But I'm going to be carrying around my 100 Days book. And then I have packed this full of things that coordinate with the book that I know are going to be simple to travel with and to use on the move. Like I said, I'm going to be doing tons of camping out in nature. I don't have time to be playing with texture paste and all that craziness. So let me kind of share with you what's in this bag. Now, I have talked about this bag on my channel before. I will link a video down below where I go into full detail, like this whole set of bags and like what all you can pack in. I have a couple of like retreat. I think I had like a going on retreat video to kind of share with you what I packed for that. So if you have, questions about traveling with supplies, you can look at those other videos as well. But basically it unzips all the way so you can get in, into everything. That's got several pouches, tons and tons of pouches to store all your goodies. And so let me kind of pull everything out and I'll share with you what I've stuck in here to go along with this book here. Okay, so these are all the goodies that I had stashed in there. I may stick a few other things in there, but this is gonna be kind of my foundation. So let me start with this little baggie here. This is the baggie that comes with the tote bag. It's a clear plastic one. So this is great if you've got paints or something like that that you don't want to, you know, blow up and mess up everything in your bag. This would be easy to wipe out and to clean, and it's clear so you can see everything in it. So I am using this as my tool bag. So this is gonna be all of my kind of staple tools. So let me share with you what I have in here. Lots and lots of pens, and I really try to restrict myself to just things that I either know I'm going to use, are going to match this book, or maybe something I want to explore playing with, but I try to really not go crazy and hoard all the products. So I have several of the Illustrated Faith pens. I've got the set of colored ones because these are going to be colors that coordinate with the book, and these are very easy ways to add color, even just to a prayer or notes or something like that, to spice it up without having to go all crazy with paints and things like that. So I've got the set of colored pens. Again, everything will be linked down below that I can possibly find will be linked down below. So I've got the colored pens, I've got the 0.65 and the 0.35. These are my favorite. I actually think it comes 0.65 and 0.25 in a set, and then 0.35 by itself, just in case you're wanting to know. The 0.35 is my favorite one to use, but these are the Illustrated Faith journaling pens. These pages are a little bit thicker, so I don't have to worry about too many things bleeding through, and these will not bleed through. So basic pens, of course, just a mechanical pencil. I prefer this over a regular pencil because I don't need a sharpener. One thing I did forget to stick in here is a eraser. So just something like that. A mini mister. Now this is from Ranger. I don't have anything in it right now, but you can put water in here, and then this takes place of my larger spray bottle if I am wanting to do some more wet techniques or something like that. You can also put perfect pearls in here. I don't have any right next to me, but I'll link them down below. Perfect pearls with a little bit of water will give you a shimmer spray. So if you're wanting to have that effect of like a glitter spray, you can do that with these mini misters. So I've got one of those. For any watercoloring or anything, I've got a water brush, much easier than having just a regular paintbrush and a bucket of water. This makes it very easy for travel, and I can control how much water I use. I also threw in a Signo Uniball white gel pen. This is my favorite white gel pen. This is great for correcting mistakes if I misspell, you know, something in my journaling, or maybe I just want to add some little white polka dots or hearts or, you know, art marks, things like that, just in the little staple pen. Now, I usually use Tombow dry adhesive, but this I go through super, super quick. So for traveling, I'm gonna go ahead and stick with one of these glue pens. You can use a glue stick. I don't love using glue sticks, but this is gonna last much longer and just be a little bit easier to use than having to carry a bunch of refills or have liquid glue. So I'm gonna use that planner glue pen. Again, everything will be linked down below for you guys. I've got a stamp block. I like this one from Ranger because it's nice and thin as opposed to some of my other ones, and so it's easier to travel with, so that will go in there. I've got the highlighter washi from Illustrated Faith. Again, this is going to be, you know, of course, tons of the colors that coordinate with the kit. I love highlighting the prayer at the bottom if it's going to be, if I'm not going to write my own prayer. Sometimes I'll just highlight the prayer that's at the bottom, or highlight specific, you know, things that I'm pulling out of the devotional content, or maybe the specific verse that I'm talking about over here. Since there are several of them, I can go ahead and highlight that verse, and then I'll know that that's what I'm journaling on, or that that's the one that I kind of honed in on. So highlighter washi, and of course you can make little crosses and little art marks and things like that as well. And then this is actually one of the paint cards from Illustrated Faith. It's not this one in particular, but they do sell just the paint cards. It's basically just like a gift card or a credit card, and I've gone ahead and attached some different washi samples that I kind of matched to go with the kit, or ones that I really like. I love this one from one of the past kits. This is no longer available, but it says yes and amen. I've got one of the Mark Maker washis. This washi is over at Dayspring. This is my favorite washi from Felicity Jane, and just some samples of those on this. Rather than having to carry 50 rolls of washi tape with me, I can just have them on this card, nice and thin. I just put, you know, wrapped around like 5 to 10 times. I don't put a whole bunch on here, just a little bit, and then that way I have it to go while I'm traveling. pair of scissors in case I want to fussy cut something or cut off the tape, or you know, just in case I need scissors. If I'm going to bring printables and things like that, I've got those in there. And then I've got the roller date stamp from Illustrated Faith. It doesn't quite fit in here, so it's going to free float in this bag, but that's a look at all the tools and basic things I'm going to take for that. So that can go right in there. I'm also going to take the Illustrated Faith Bible mat. This is the original smaller one. I don't know if they still carry this one. They may only carry the larger one now, but that's okay. And this just is going to be, as I'm working on a particular page, I can slide this behind that page to kind of protect the rest of the book, give myself a hard surface to stamp on, and just kind of protect things the same as you would do in a journaling Bible. So of course I'm going to bring that with me. I'm also going to take my T-ruler. This is becoming one of my like essentials to journaling for me. Now, some of these pages do have dot grid and line grid, but some of them don't. And so if I want to make sure that I am lining up my alpha stickers or my journaling lines, I can use this to help with that and give myself some guides on these blank spaces as I work along there. So I'm going to take that with me. Okay, let's talk about these. So these are kind of my art medium bags, and these were just some that I have in my stash. I think this is from actually a pouch from Marine Parents. I don't know that she makes these anymore. If she does, I will link her shop down below. And so what I have in here, these are going to be all of my markers, and I am going to have color swatches over on the corresponding blog post, so you can go check that out. I tried to, as closely as I could, color match the colors in here. There are actually a lot of colors in here, but I tried to just kind of match what was on the cover and some of the ones that I saw again and again and again. I didn't worry too much about some of these colors that I only saw like on a couple of pages, and kind of stuck with the key colors. So those swatches will be over on my blog. But so I pulled all of those markers and put those in here. Now just remember that your pit markers need to be stored horizontally, not vertically. So that's why I picked this particular bag that I had in my stash, and that way I can lay it in the bottom of that other bag and make sure that they're going to stay horizontal and not vertical. So I've got those, and I have a mixture of the thin brush and the big brush, because some of the colors, like the lilac one, only come in the thinner brush. So there's that. And then in the bottom here, I've pulled out my Versamagic inks. So these actually are waterproof once they are heat set. So I did throw in the black one, and this is going to be my basic black ink. I'm not going to take another black ink with me. I'm going to use this one. These are nice, small, compact. I do like that the lids, they don't snap on, but they're pretty snug, so I don't have to worry about my inks flying open and making a mess. I can kind of be comfortable that they're going to be okay in the bottom of here. So there, and I again will have all those color swatches over on my blog. I've got all of the colors that I pulled to match the kit in there. So that is going to be markers and Versamagic inks. I believe I got this little baggie from Joann's like years ago, so I don't know that they have those anymore, in case you're wondering. Okay, in this one here, I've got my Illustrated Faith watercolor set. I don't plan on doing too much watercoloring because, like I said, this is not watercolor paper. So you do want to be careful that you don't use too much water. But in case I want to add like ink splatters or something like that, I can do that. You may want to substitute the Illustrated Faith acrylic paints for this if you're a little bit more comfortable with acrylic paints. But I've got that because it's small and easy to transport. I have 50 billion different watercolors, and some that I actually like having the color variety, but this is just easier to travel with because it's smaller. And then I've got my Neocolor 2 crayons. These are the ones that I've pulled the colors that match the kit. And I have them in a baggie just so that they don't, you know, mess up the inside of my pouch here, but also I can use this as a palette. So if I wanted to take these out and then actually scribble the pigment onto the plastic and then pick it up with my paintbrush, now I have an instant watercolor palette. I could also just scribble it onto the inside of my actual watercolor palette, and then I've got even more colors to work with. So I love these. You could even get away with taking these and not the watercolors at all, because these are water soluble crayons. On the color swatches, I did not mention black in the markers or the inks or anything like that, because black is just one of those staple ones that I always take with me. So I do have that in there as well. So there are those. I do have a full list of gelatos that I paired with this book, but I prefer the Neocolor 2 crayons. But what I did was I went ahead and picked 3 of the colors that are actually better color matches than what I could get with the Neocolor 2 crayons. So the Guava, the Thistle, and the Aqua Dolce match a little bit better than the ones that I picked from the Neocolor 2 crayons. So I threw those in as well. If you don't have the Neocolor 2 crayons, you can substitute your gelatos if you've got a full collection of gelatos. So I've got those in there. And then these are actually Project Life cards. And these ones in particular are from a Maggie Holmes collection. If it's still available, I'll link it down below. But it just had colors and things that really paired well with the colors of this particular book. And I wanted to give myself some variety and some, you know, I don't want to take a whole bunch of die cuts, but I can put one of these down and it kind of gives me a journaling spot, or a place, you know, to add little notes, or maybe I want to put my title, you know, here and then take my notes, and so this will be kind of the background for my title. It's just a simple way to add a little something to the pages without, you know, going crazy, and they were colors that coordinated. So I just pulled out a few. I didn't go crazy with it. I didn't want to take too many. And these ones in particular are double-sided, so I can use, you know, either side, but just something a little bit fun to work with. Or if I had maybe a more private prayer or note-taking that I wanted to do, then I could create a tip-in using the washi tape that I'm taking as well. So there's a look at the paints and things that I'm taking. You'll notice I don't have acrylic paints in there, as I'm trying to really streamline and keep it simple. And if you were flying with this bag, other than the scissors, you should be able to get away with flying with the items that are in there. And so I didn't want to jump into, you know, big bottles of paint, because then that could be a problem. And I will be flying this summer, so I wanted to keep that in mind. Okay, next up are stickers. Now I could go sticker wild, and there are probably even more stickers that I'll stick in here before I leave, but these are some of the quick ones that I grabbed. So I've got the Word Fetty stickers from the Illustrated Faith Print and Pray shop. I've got the Word Fetty stickers that you can buy from Dayspring. These ones are already like on stickers and cut apart, whereas the printable ones you would need to print on sticker paper and that kind of thing. So if you're wanting something simpler, they have plenty of options over at Dayspring. They also have the basics cardstock sticker booklet that has the Word Fetty stickers in all different kinds of colors. So of course I'm going to stick those in there. I've got the basics colorful alphas. These are also from Dayspring and Illustrated Faith. So just basic, you know, colors that I can use for my titles. I may throw in some other additional alpha stickers when the time comes, but this is just going to be a good kind of standalone base for me. I did go ahead and grab these brushed words from Illustrated Faith and Dayspring just so that I could maybe use them up. These are clear stickers, and I thought maybe there were a few pieces that I could use in the journaling as well. Again, just trying to use up some supplies and do something a little bit different. This normally is from Dayspring. I found mine at Tuesday Mornings, but I will link the ones from Dayspring down below. These are just some puffy black crosses. They have them in all different colors, and so I thought these might be fun just to add some dimension or something like that. And then they also have these great sticker books. These are not from Dayspring. This one I got at Tuesday Mornings, but they have them at Hobby Lobby. They have them at all those places. And there's several different ones. This one in particular is Maggie Holmes. I find that the Maggie Holmes colors kind of match the Illustrated Faith colors pretty well. And so this just has, you know, different words, different like washies, you know, just lots of different stickers. That way I'm not having to carry 50 billion things with me. I've got some labels, just different things that I can use to decorate the page quick and easy. That's what I'm going for. So if this one's still available somewhere, I will link it down below, but definitely check Tuesday Mornings because they always have great things like that. So that is for stickers. All right, now we've got stamps, and so I really tried to slim it down, not take too many. I've got this set here. I've actually cut mine apart, but it's a 4x6 stamp that came from the Less Hustle, More Jesus devotional kit, which I think is still available over at Dayspring. If it is, I will link it down below. And then this is the stamp set that came in that kit, and so you may want to grab that kit if you haven't worked through it before. It'd be great to pair with this book, but this stamp set is kind of a good staple stamp set. It's got an outline and a solid piece, so you can kind of use, you know, either or both of them together. I had cut mine down for storage purposes, but this is a good one to have. This is the Homespun Alphas. old but good. We've had this one around forever, but it is just tried and true, full alpha, and this one should be available over at Dayspring as well. So rather than worrying about taking a whole bunch of dimensional puffy stickers and things like that, I can use this to create big, bold titles very simply, and I can use the different inks or markers or even Neocolor 2 crayons to do different techniques with these stamps. So I've got those. I grabbed the Mark Maker stamp set. This is from the Illustrated Faith site, not from Dayspring. I don't know if they still have this one available, but you can pull it from your stash if you already have it. And it has a lot of the same marks because it was created by Shauna, has a lot of those same little art marks that Shauna uses throughout the book. So I did go ahead and pull this one out to use with the book. And then I've got the Elements stamp set from Dayspring. This again is one of those oldie but goodies, tons of art marks. And so if you can't get a hold of the Mark Maker one, this would be a really good one to have as well, or both of them. I have both. And this is good art marks and like journaling spots and things like that. I'm also going to throw in the Beloved Society stamp. This one again is from Illustrated Faith, not from Dayspring. And I may design some of these girls and then just cut them out and throw them in my bag, but I can also take the stamp set, and I thought it'd be kind of fun just to have those as like a focal point with a speech bubble with my prayer or my notes or something like that. Just a fun element and a fun way to use these. So those are the stamps. Of course I think I may throw in some sort of floral stamp set because I'm always all about the florals, and that would be another good like staple stamp set. So you can see everything will fit in this bag. I kind of just threw everything in there, but it will nicely fit in there with the book itself. So I can tuck these down, keep them horizontal, stick in my Neocolor 2 crayons. All that goodness can get shoved into this bag, and then I am good to go and ready to travel so that I have everything that I need as I work through the 100 Days book. So I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below. Let me know how you plan on going through this book. What maybe something unique, creative, I don't know. Leave a comment down below. Share it with others so that maybe they can get some inspiration. Because like me, maybe some of you had a hard time finishing the first two, and so maybe you guys have some creative ideas for how to streamline it, make it easy. I don't know. Leave a comment down below. Check out the description box for links to everything that I talked about, including the book. Most of those are affiliate links, so just heads up. Dayspring did send me the book for review, so thank you, Dayspring, for that. I'm super excited to dive in and jump through this with you guys this summer. Give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.